Breaking news, the Dodgers are calling up KBO Korean star Hyeseong Kim. We got an update on Tommy Edman. That's coming up next on this emergency episode of Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You guys ready to parade? We got a parade. The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series. Tony starts the 50-50 clock. Milky Magic. Freeman gets the ball. Right field. She is gone. Start the party, Los Angeles. Your Dodgers have won the World Series.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to an emergency episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Join our Discord. We're just doing tons of giveaways down in that Discord. Would really appreciate that. Thousands of Dodgers fans are engaging, interacting. I'm talking to you guys, so that's a lot of fun. But let's get right to the breaking news, and that is that the Dodgers are calling up infielder, outfielder, super utility man, star from the KBO. That is Hyeseong Kim. Hyeseong Kim is being called up. I messaged with Kim early this morning. He's very excited, headed to Atlanta to be with his Dodgers teammates and be a part of this group. And this news was first reported by our friend Casey Porter of Dodgers Daily. It was later confirmed by Fabian Ardaya of The Athletic. So this is happening from people I've talked to early this morning. This definitely is coming after Tommy Edman was clearly not bouncing back as quickly as they hoped with the ankle injury. And what I was told was, quote, the ankle has continued to bark, and the fact that they learned so much about ankle injuries last year with Freddie Freeman, and the fact that you're in first place, that it's only May, there's no reason to rush or force Tommy Edman to play if he's nursing any type of ankle injury. So expect that to be the move for this, and they can backdate it a maximum of 3 days. So if everything goes right for Tommy Edman, and this is a short stint on the IL, which is expected, then hopefully he'll be back at some point next week with the 3 days backdated. So maybe you see him back in the Diamondback series. But I don't think they're going to try to rush him back. Like I said, this is a player that's so important to their success. We know that they just extended him. He's having a great start to his season. Tommy Tanks has been phenomenal, but there's also a great opportunity for Hyeseong Kim to get his first taste of big league action. And with Hyeseong Kim, he's already on the 40-man roster. You just have to find a way to get him on that 26-man active roster, and the corresponding move with Tommy Edman heading to the IL, presumably, which is expected right now. Then you put Edman in a situation where he can rest up, he can get fully healthy, you don't take any risks. Ankle injuries are tricky, man. I don't know if you've ever had an ankle injury, but they tend to linger. We've seen his own organization suffer some significant ones. So it makes complete sense in the world not to force Tommy Edman to play through an ankle injury. And then with Hyeseong Kim, you get a guy that's versatile. He can play second base just like Tommy Edman, can play shortstop just like Tommy Edman. You can throw him into center field as well. And he also provides a lot of the additional things. I mean, not the Tommy Tanks power, right? Not the Tommy Tanks power, but he has had some power this season. He's been definitely surprisingly good at the plate from that standpoint. He's kind of overachieved as a slugger. So far this season down in AAA, 131 plate appearances. He's played in 28 games. The strikeout rate, a little worse than you would expect at 24.4%. That's below league average. A 7.6 walk rate, but 5 home runs in 28 games, 131 plate appearances. He's slashing .252 with a .328 on base. He's slugging .470, has a 105 weighted runs created plus. So Hyeseong Kim has been just slightly above league average down at the AAA level. So it does remain to be seen if he can handle big league pitching. And that's going to be the number one thing you're looking for here, because the defense is going to be sparkling. He's fantastic as a defender, and I expect his defense to shine wherever he plays. I mean, you're adjusting to making reads off big league hitters and big league ballparks. That certainly is an adjustment, but the guy is an extremely talented Gold Glove caliber defender. I've been told from scouts that the best position for him is absolutely him being a shortstop. I mean, the way that he cuts his throws off, the arm strength, that, hey, if you look at him as a shortstop who gives you above average defense at that position, and then he can be around league average offensively, that profiles more and projects better for that position, because you're getting the premium defense along with some offense and the ability to be dynamic on the base pass. This guy is a very fast and dynamic runner. That makes more sense than to have him as a center fielder, right? A center fielder, you want some more offensive prowess. You want some more power from that position. So I think long term, it would be interesting to see what you could get from him as a shortstop. Of course, Mookie Betts has been playing that position at an above-average level so far this season, and Mookie's offense has turned around. He's in .320 in his last 6 games. But a lot to like with Hyeseong Kim. I mean, he's a very, very exciting player. And just kind of to rewind a little bit on Kim, the Dodgers signed him out of the KBO to a 3-year contract. It's worth $12.5 million back in early January. He was posted by the Kiwoom Heroes of the KBO, and that came as a surprise. It was a major surprise. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Braves, other teams out there. There was a story where Hyeseong Kim made it known that Shohei Ohtani got involved very late to try to encourage him to sign with the Dodgers. So that, of course, I'm sure helped matters. Having the best player on the planet want you to sign with them. And he ultimately ends up signing with the Dodgers. And the contract is really interesting. Like I mentioned, 3 years, $12.5 million guaranteed. Also got a $1 million signing bonus for this season. But what makes it really interesting is he's getting $2.5 million in 2025, $3.75 million next year, $3.75 million in 2027. But the Dodgers, they hold a 2-year club option for 2028 and 2029 that's worth $5 million a season, and the option has to be exercised immediately following the 2027 season. And if they don't exercise it, it's a $1.5 million buyout. So essentially, you're getting 3 years to see, hey, can this guy be a player in your organization? I mean, are you going to develop him? Or is he going to realize his potential? Can he hit big league pitching? And it's a great deal for the Dodgers, because at that price, this is someone who has the potential to be an everyday player for you. And he's signing with your organization just because, hey, it was his favorite team growing up. I mean, he grew up loving guys like Hyunjin Ryu and the Dodgers being on in Korea every day. So he grew up a Dodgers fan, and because they are the Dodgers, you got the proximity, LA to Korea, the strong Korean community here in Los Angeles. Those are reasons why he signs with the Dodgers and not teams like the Cleveland Guardians. So you take full advantage of that. The Dodgers did pay his $2.5 million posting fee to the Kiwoom Heroes. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. I really hope that he gets into a position where he just has a moment early that gives him confidence. I remember talking to Hyeseong Kim back at Dodgers Fest, and I asked him, hey, what is going to be the biggest adjustment for you in transitioning from the KBO, where you were a star, where you're one of the best players in the sport, but the KBO is not the NPB. It's not the best league outside of America like the NPB is. It's a good league. It's a solid league. It's AAA-ish, maybe less sometimes, but it's not the NPB. So the ability to hit big league pitching is going to be the biggest question, because if you get anywhere near how good he was in the KBO, it's going to be an absolute steal. Because in the KBO, he was a 300 hitter. He averaged in his 8 years with the Kiwoom Heroes, he averaged a 304 batting average, a 364 on base, a 403 slug. He averaged 21 doubles, 5 home runs, 5 triples, and 30 stolen bases in 7 full seasons. So 30 stolen bases, you're getting a little bit of slug in there, but you're not going to expect a ton, right? The most home runs he ever hit in a season was 11 home runs. Now, having said that, the most home runs that Tommy Edman ever hit in a season was 13, and now with the Dodgers, he's on pace this year for a lot more than that. So maybe they can unlock some power in there. Just kind of talking to some scouts about how that hit tool will profile. The one area they tell me that is the big area of concern is the ability to hit fastballs up in the zone. 94, 95, 96, 97 mile per hour heaters up in the zone because of that kind of pinwheel looking swing where, yeah, if you get a fastball down in the zone, he can get the barrel to it and lift it out. But the question is, can he hit high fastballs in the show? And I will say the couple of the home runs I saw him hit down to the minor league level, they were on some heaters up in the zone on 94, 95 mile per hour pitches. So that definitely is encouraging. But yeah, look, the show is the best league in the world. Major League Baseball and hitting in Major League Baseball consistently after either you get off to a slow start and you figure it out, or you get off to a hot start and then you get into a slump and teams start to scout you and figure you out. Well, that is always the biggest adjustment. And that is what he told me when I asked him about what is your biggest adjustment that you need to make to being able to make it in the major leagues.
What's going to be the biggest adjustment for you transitioning from the KBO to Major League Baseball?
그래서 KBO에서 뛰다가 이제 메이저리그에 왔는데 적응하는 동안에 가장 이제 집중하는 부분이 어떤 거?
일단 아무래도 평균 구속이 많이 올라갔기 때문에 그런 거에 있어서 많이 집중하고 그런 부분을 많이 연습하려고 하고 있습니다.
Obviously, the average fastball velo from KBO to MLB, it's a bit higher, so he's focusing on working to hit high velocity fastball.
류현진 선수도 일단 한국 선수들이 많이 뛰었기 때문에 그래서 마음이 많이 급한 것 같습니다.
We had a lot of great Korean players such as Channel Park, Hyunjin Ryu, when he grew up watching them as a kid, and just a lot more exposure as a kid watching the Dodgers. That's why it was his favorite team.
So really cool to hear him talk about Chan-Ho Park and some of the Dodgers players that he was exposed to, that he learned about. And that's, look, I mean, it's branding, right? It's what makes an iconic franchise appealing to players like Hyeseong Kim. So, yeah, I mean, this is an exciting day for him. Like I said, contacted him this morning. He's very, very excited. He's ready to roll. And I just want to say, as Dodgers fans, I mean, if he gets off to a slow start, let's not just jump on him as the doomers do and say he's going to be a bust and this and that. No, look, I mean, this guy, the first thing you want to look at is the defense, because I was talking to Miguel Rojas before the season, and Rojas told me that where Kim is based on where he was at that same age, that Kim has the chance to be special. And it's not just at one position, it's at multiple positions. And Miggy Rose is one of the best defensive shortstops that we've had in the sport for over the last decade. And he has given him his stamp of approval and has been very impressed with his defensive abilities. Just look at some of these defensive plays here. I mean, just look at this play right here.
Oh, 2. Weakly grounded. Past Jakes towards the middle. Kim has it, gets rid of it quickly, just in time. Hyeseong Kim's been all over the place tonight.
I mean, that is serious right there. The ability to get it out of your glove that quick and the arm strength that he does have, very, very impressive. And that's where he can hang his hat. And that's why I say that long term, the way he projects, man, if you could find him a spot in one of those infield positions, then the offense starts to make more sense. The offense makes less sense when you throw him into center field and he's not hitting for much power. I do think he can be a major plus defensive outfielder for sure, but like I was saying, that makes a ton of sense. I mean, look, I think for Kim, just getting this opportunity early on to, I think is a really good measuring stick for him, because if this team was fully healthy and he's going through the ups and downs at AAA, you just don't know how he's going to be able to handle it once he gets there. If the light switch will come on and it'll stay on. So this is a part of the process. It's all a part of the process, and that's why you're seeing the Dodgers go to him early. And you kind of look at the other opportunity that the Dodgers had to go with Hyeseong Kim earlier in the season. That was when Freddie Freeman was out. When he slipped in the shower, you had Fredericks of Hollywood nursing that ankle injury and just not wanting to rush back from that. Well, they end up going with Hunter Fiducia, and they did that because they wanted another left-handed bat off the bench, and they did not see consistent playing time available for Kim at the time. So this tells you that they view this as he's going to come up and get consistent playing time, get consistent at-bats, because he made some changes to his swing. And when you do that, you need to be in the lineup every day or as much as possible so you can get those reps in, get that experience in, and have it just be a part of your hitter's DNA. Your scouts and hitting coaches talk about that, your hitter's DNA. For that to be completely ingrained in you, you need those reps. So this also indicates to me that he's not just coming up to come off the bench and maybe pinch run or get a spot start or be a late game defensive substitution. No, he's coming up to get significant playing time while he's up there. And I think that, hey, whether that means starting in the lineup, whether that means being a guy that is in there most of the time, we'll see. But I think it's him coming up here and being in that starting lineup and just hitting the ground running and seeing what he has. Now, I do think that a lot of people probably say, oh, like, why is so many people high on Hyeseong Kim, right? Why are you so high on Kim, right? Like, there's a couple of reasons, because he's an international player, right? International players just kind of by nature always kind of feel a little more exciting. And I think it's, too, the fact that no one expected the Dodgers to end up with Hyeseong Kim in the first place. They weren't even a team that was mentioned or linked to him. And then it's also, hey, I mean, this guy has that defense, that running ability, and we'll see if he can figure out things with the bat. But, I mean, look, you look at, like, someone like a Yamamoto, right? Like, yeah, when the Dodgers got Yamamoto, you guys saw my reaction. I gave the very first day after the postseason, I said, after the Dodgers lost the Diamondbacks, I said, give me Yamamoto and give me Glasnow. The Glasnow one has had its ups and downs, but the Yamamoto one, the reason why you're so excited is when you pay a guy $325 million, you expect him to perform like an ace. You expect him to perform at or near the best at his position in the sport, and so far there's no doubt about that. Yamamoto is the ace of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is one of the best pitchers in the sport already, and it shouldn't come as a surprise because that's what the Dodgers were paying for. You pay for a Ferrari, you expect it to go 200 plus miles per hour. You expect every time you park it and every time you had a red light, people looking over at you and saying, oh, who's in that Ferrari, right? That's what they got. They got what they expected with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? Kim's a little different. Like I said, they're guaranteeing him $12.5 million. So don't expect this guy to play like an MVP. If he has success, great, but it's more of untapped potential and the uncertainty that he's going to perform at this level versus they knew what they were getting with Yamamoto. They knew it. With someone like a Hyeseong Kim, it's kind of a different, it's more of a lottery ticket. And this lottery ticket, you could scratch it off and you could be a big winner, or you could scratch it off and not get very much at all. It's definitely a lot more variance. But guys, welcome to an emergency edition of Dodgers Dugout Live here on Saturday afternoon. Welcome to the show. Now let's get into some comments here. We've got NS utility players, absolutely. James Hickson, I think Outman may also be returning. Yeah, we'll see what happens with James Outman. He's been really on fire of late, and I mentioned that on the show over last week, and you guys know that I brought that out there as an idea to have James Outman as your center fielder, kicking Andy Paz to left, Michael Conforto if he can't get things together, then you make a decision based on that. But also, hey, if he needs a couple of weeks, you throw him down to Arizona. He takes a lot of swings. He faces pitchers down there. You kind of work it that way, so it could be a little phantom IL stint. So we got that as a possibility. But Victor Elaine, I'm literally on the baseball reference page right now, too. What up, Victor? We've got Propa having a little Dodgers debate down below. We've got Matt saying, don't let Hyeseong Kim call up distract you from D-Mac gobbling a 16-inch Dodger dog.
Bruh.
You guys never let me live down that glizzy, huh? Never let me live that down. It was delicious, all right? I'd do it again. I wish you could have it for lunch every day. We've got what time's Kim's debut? Well, we'll see if the Dodgers play. There's a little inclement weather down in Atlanta today. We've got Propa. Good thing you're getting blocked. Boom. We've got Nando, Kim at third, trade Muncy. It's a hot take. Robert says, hey, D-Mac, have a great day. I will. Hey, debuts are exciting. I mean, if that's day, we'll see. If that is later, we will find out. But just the fact that he's getting his opportunity, and I did hear from Kim early this morning, and he's headed to Atlanta. Nando 390 Glass now is made for the first week of April. Ouch. Nando's coming in hot today. They should have just saved Glass down until October. Yeah, imagine just like build them up until October. What's up, Craig Osterberg? What's up, Jack 42? We've got it was comedy gold, your legend. Thanks, NS. Appreciate it. It's always having enough fun, man. It's always great to see you guys in person, interact with you guys. Always a great time for sure. Gerardo, I'm always here for you guys, you know, and also you guys are here for me, to be honest. You guys are here for me for sure. Nico in the chat for sure. Absolutely. Nico killing the game. But yep, guys, so that's the news right now is you got everything you need with the Hyeseong Kim, the player, the roster, the move, the scouting on him, and now it's just about hearing an official announcement from the Dodgers at this point. And Dave Roberts is going to talk in about a couple hours from now, and once we get more information, we will certainly be ready to rock tomorrow. Tonight you got Roki Sasaki on the bump for the Dodgers, and it's going to be a great opportunity for him to build on that. Did you see there was an AL executive saying that he was a bust or something, that he was he was the biggest disappointment so far? You got to be kidding me. You know, you're just disappointed that you did not get him, okay? So just kind of calm down with that. Some other stuff, though, to really get into, the Dodgers did announce that they're signing veteran utility man Nick Senzel to a minor league deal. It was made official on their transaction log. You saw that there on May 1st. So, yeah, I mean, if you remember the draft back in 2016, he was a second overall pick from the Reds and made his debut in 2019. By the end of 2023, he ends up a free agent, and he signed with the Nationals. He didn't make the opening day lineup because he had a broken thumb, and he had suffered that in warm-ups, but not a great year for Washington. Hit 209 in 64 games, had 7 home runs. The Nationals released him, and he signed with the Cubs in July. With the Cubs, he went 3 for 30. They DFA'd him. This year, he's been playing in Mexico, and, hey, he's balling. He was killing the game in that Mexican league. Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani over there, he, in 6 games, hit 591, was slugging 1136 with an OPS 1790. So that clearly is a very small sample size. So that's interesting just because of how big of a name he was. And we'll see what the Dodgers can do when they get their hands on him. But another little sneaky move. And we're in sneaky move season. I mean, we're in sneaky move season. That's kind of the time frame we're in where the Dodgers, they make these moves in the margins. We talked a lot about it yesterday on the start of Dodgers Dugout about kind of what their strategy is with some of these guys. So, yeah, a couple more here, guys. We got HTG Warpig DMAC. Why do you think we didn't re-sign Brent Honeywell? I mean, look, I think Honeywell, he's a Wasserman guy trying to get a deal where he can almost guarantee himself a bigger role potentially. And I think for him, the Dodgers, who knows what's going to happen? I mean, Joe Kelly's still out there, right? Brent Honeywell's still out there. But I think for Honeywell, he played a role for this team. He was not incredibly effective, but look, I mean, it's Fear the Turtleneck for sure. It's the show change, the mullet. It's everything that he brings. But this team, I think you look at guys that you want to bring in certain spots. Well, you got to have guys that have some flexibility and the ability to be used in a variety of different roles. And I think that kind of the big thing for Brent Honeywell is if he's going to sign on somewhere, is he willing to just kind of hang down at the minor league level and for how long, right? And I think for Brent Honeywell, he has no options, right? So that's kind of the thing for him. I mean, once you have no options, it's really difficult for the Dodgers to have you where you can join that OKC Express going up and down. So that's kind of the big thing there. I mean, for the Dodgers last season, I mean, he was effective, man, and he played that role where he 8 innings. Like I said, 50 pitches where he wore it there in Game 4. He really set the Dodgers bullpen up for success in the clincher. I mean, without Brent Honeywell, it could have been a 6-game series, 7-game series for sure. He wasn't great, but he was. I just from Adrian, Honeywell wasn't not that great. He wasn't that great for sure, and it's really kind of the lack of options that really hurt him. Nando 390 says Rosario signed back with the Braves. I know, wouldn't that be funny if he signed back with the Braves and they had him in there and he was just crushing the Dodgers like it was 2021 all over again. Roy Estrada, Alana Rizzo joined the Red Sox. She did? In what capacity? That's pretty interesting. Alana Rizzo, good friend. She's cool. She was great as a Dodgers reporter. She was awesome. But, yeah, I didn't know that. She joined the Red Sox. Interesting. So she's going to be, like, back in her Alana Rizzo role just for the Red Sox broadcast. That's interesting stuff right there. But a couple more here, guys, and then we'll head out. We're going to try to be back later for the post-game show. Roki Sasaki on the mound tonight for your Los Angeles Dodgers, looking to build. That's what it's about for Roki. Can you continue to build? And it's going to be fun tonight. It's going to be fun tonight. They got the Schwallenbach on for the Bravos. And, yeah, that's going to be exciting. I mean, last time we saw Sasaki, he went 5 innings, and he is really putting things together. I mean, last 3 starts, he went 5, 6, and 5 2/3. And before that, he had gone just 8 2/3 innings combined in his first 3 outings. So this version of Roki Sasaki, I think, is continuing to get better, and he's making progress. You're not seeing as many walks. The splitter's still really good. The fastball is the pitch that he needs to improve upon. That's where you need to see a little more life and command, but he's getting better. I mean, honestly, at 3.55 ERA, the expected ERA is not as great at 5.49, but he's just kind of grinding through, figuring things out at this level. But, yeah, Schwellenbach, he's really good. I mean, honestly, he's a really good pitcher. 2.64 ERA yeah, I mean, this is a guy that is not going to be easy to face either. So I like it. It's going to be a nice little matchup of young emerging starters here. But a couple more comments here on this emergency episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. Give me your called shot today. Who's hitting the bomb tonight? We'll read some of those and we'll head out. Nando, Rizzo picked the Padres to win over the Dodgers, but says she's a Dodgers fan. Hey, you never know. I mean, maybe she felt that way. We got, I mean, look, I look, the Lakers lost, and I mean, there was people that picked the Lakers to lose, but Kim's second best position, second or short for sure, but I think that his value is at the highest playing shortstop. He can play that position at an above average level in the show. So I'd argue that even though, yeah, he could potentially be a better second baseman than a shortstop, I'd play him at shortstop. That's what I would do with him long term for sure. I really do. Really do think that. But, yep, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, this emergency episode. We'll be back with you later. But, yeah, let me know down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the Dodgers calling up Hyeseong Kim? What are your expectations for him? Do you think that he's going to be special? Nico says an Ohtani leadoff bomb. I like that. A leadoff bomb for Shohei Ohtani. No hits yesterday. But how about Mr. Vienna? He says Conforto with his first bomb to left center. I like that, 399. Roy Estrada, D-Mac, what happened to the other speedster that we got from the A's? Yeah, I mean, he's been really, really good. I mean, he's been let's look at his stats real quick, but he has been continuing to kind of put together at bats down there. You've seen the slugs go up. You've seen him use that speed. They've been trying to focus on making his defense a little more consistent. But, yeah, he's talking about, of course, Esteury Ruiz, and he's doing pretty well, honestly. In 20 games down there for OKC, he's 20 for 69, 859 OPS, hitting 290, has a home run and 7 doubles and a triple. So Esteury Ruiz, this guy, of course, if you don't know, a couple years ago, he was a stolen base machine, a couple of years ago. At his very peak, Esteury Ruiz with the A's, I believe it was, I want to say it was 67 stolen bases a few years ago. Let's see if I'm right. I'm right. 2023 was 67. He led the league, 67 stolen bases. His issue is he can't hit that well, and his defense is below average. Bo, give you some more updates on him. I'm sure we'll see him at some point this season, possibly, especially if there's an injury or two here and there. But, yep, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Also, if you guys want to get caught up, I've been doing live breakdowns, just highlights, super quick so you don't kind of forget this stuff in between the games. It's always fun for me to go back and do the highlights, just kind of breaking this stuff down. You know how much we love this stuff. I know you guys do as much too, because you guys are the best fans in the game as always. But that is going to do it for this episode, guys. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button on your way out. Would appreciate that. And remember that there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
I don't care if I stand into his windup.